From growing up on welfare to running 30+ projects, developments, and companies across the nation, I've learned how to create meaningful wealth from absolutely nothing. I'm Joshua Pardue, developer, investor, team leader, mentor of good people, and today I want to share a little bit about my story and give you the strategies that I use to create a 9-figure portfolio. My main approach along this journey was a concept that I like to call developing stuff. Direct investments in projects, companies, properties, people, and memories. No matter where you are in your life and your business journey, if you're just starting out or you have millions in assets, after you watch this video, you'll know how to develop stuff, create wealth for you, your family, and your legacy. How do you get successful in America? The first step is almost always building liquidity. Out of the gate, I often tell people, write all the things you like to do, all the things that you're good at, and all the ways you can create value in America. What are opportunities, whether they're jobs, businesses, investments, or ideas, and connect those dots. For me, the first step was pure entrepreneurship. It started in middle school when I was selling bubblegum to the kid next to me. And then in high school, I really liked saltwater reef aquariums. So I figured out how to start a business, working after hours, setting up saltwater fish tanks. And I think my first big break was when I got to undergrad. I got into the nightclub business because I liked that part of the weekends and I wanted to create wealth. So we started a VIP promotions business that allowed me to start to make $1,000+ a night. And that allowed me to get the first couple of $100,000 needed in order to go to step 2. As successful as the nightclub business was, there was a problem with the model. The model was that I had to work it and I had to run the business. So I had to figure out what's the next step in the journey. And that was taking some of the liquidity created and figuring out how to invest that so it worked in perpetuity while I was starting other businesses. Step 2 is taking the liquidity from the first step, placing that into reoccurring investments. Why is this important? Well, it's because you have to buy your time back. And I now had a little puddle of liquidity. So I got my first house primary financed, really good debt, fixed it up on the weekends, track lights, tiles. The little details in the property create a lot of value. I was able to rent that out for a few $100 more a month than the market houses were. Once I had a few houses and I saw the 10% cash on cash, I said, I'm gonna keep running this play until it stops working. So at this point, residential real estate was a success, but it wasn't a personal passion. How do I add more zeros? How do I think at a higher level? The only way to level it all up was to move to brokering commercial transactions and taking those dollars and investing in commercial properties, really doubling down and putting a lot of equity and money and risk into commercial development. The key thing at this point and at every step of the journey is believing in yourself, growing that confidence, align what you're good at, what you like doing with future opportunities. For me, the next move was how do I play at the highest level? I wanted to move to New York. So we started a business doing similar to what we were doing in Florida, but in New York City, the most competitive market in the country. I had to really challenge myself because if I would have stayed in Florida with my other businesses, I could have been done and free already. Once you break through that barrier and you're doing the transactions with the people at that new higher level, you then have access to new information, access to new concepts, access to new opportunities. The strategy was, I'm doing good transactions, but how can I do larger transactions? And that was all about creating enough wealth through one transaction that would equal that of 50 residential transactions, because in order to create real wealth, you have to move from tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands into the millions category. And whatever that means for your industry, you have to be able to think with that mindset to create more wealth per hour in order to take that and be prepared for the next step. At this point, it's time to become a developer. What is a developer? All a developer really is, if you think about it, is someone that combines the sum of resources, money, team, ideas, organizational structure, into something that's worth more than the sum of its original parts. How do you develop something better in your industry based on the resources and the journey that you've had to this point? Know what you're good at, invest in that, control your own investments. The point is to put a little bit of money, really good ideas, and start something that grows exponentially. It can be a small amount of money. It can be 10,000, 50,000, 100,000, million, whatever that number is to you. The point is that you can raise the rest of the money and you can structure things in the right way to align interest based on the value creation. That means having the right partners. Create the mindset that the markets are inefficient, people are imperfect, and great opportunities are everywhere. And along with the other formula of creating unique value within your industry, find those opportunities and bring them to the table. One of my favorite parts of the journey is talking about a few of the first really big commercial projects. We had a piece of land off of I-4 in Orlando. It was 5 acres. It was a distressed bank asset in the middle of the recession. People in Florida were running from land, but it just seemed clear if you thought about things differently, that when land is down that much in such a great state as Florida, it would be a good opportunity at $800K for 5 acres on I-4 in Orlando. When the market came out of it, got the debt, the equity, the contractor, the storage management company, and we built an 80,000 square foot, 3-story storage facility, had a national operator come in. We ended up exiting that project at $19 million. And again, on that one, we had $800,000 to land. It cost at the time about $7 million to build a storage facility. I'm sharing this because if a kid on welfare from Daytona can come in and do it, then anyone can do it. But the point to make is you have to follow the steps along the way. I didn't start here. I had to do the building blocks. There's no cheating, there's no skipping. Now that leads us into step 5, becoming a visionary leader. There's a whole lot of technical problems in this world. My role is to organize a team that crushes the technical problems so I can spend my time focusing on the abstract problems, the ideas, the vision, and where the group is going to go as a whole. For me, I'm now at a stage in the process where I'm managing my own ventures, managing my own equity, managing different people and parts in the process. And fortunately, as you go along this path, this process, this journey, this ship ride, more and more of the equity continues to become your equity that you control. And once you get to a point where you control enough of the equity, you can create the culture and environment for everyone around you. When someone's successful and they ascend, they should grab their team and everyone should come up with them. You build that right culture. You have the latitude to create a space and environment for everybody and yourself where it's no longer work. You're doing what you love. Thanks for making it through this video. To recap, here are the 5 steps to create meaningful wealth from nothing. Step 1, get liquidity. Step 2, create passive income. Step 3, play at a higher level. Whatever your industry is, level up. Add more zeros to your transactions. Step 4, become an owner and a developer. Bring in partners and investors and make sure you're capturing equity in the things that you're working on. Step 5, become a visionary leader. Adjust what you work on, what you think about, and your role in the process. Do a better job leading people and teams to change the world. I hope some of these concepts are useful as you navigate your ship through the river of life.